for wherever you need to go, and then some. The world needs more healers.
Welcome to Twin Flames Between Worlds podcast. My name is Tabitha.
And I'm Liesl.
And hi, welcome to our deep dive, the first book in the Throne of Glass series, The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas.
Woo!
Yay! We are going into the second book of the 5 novellas in this novel. So I guess it's a novel, but they're like little novellas in a novel. So this novella is called The Assassin and the Healer. And it's a really, really short one, considering all the other ones are kind of 12, 10 chapters. This one's only 6 chapters long.
It has the roll credits in it too, even saying an assassin and the healer.
It does. I'm so glad you picked that up because I was just like, you know how much that makes me happy. So yeah, this is going to be a really short episode, guys, but also it wouldn't be an SJM novel, book, whatever, if there wasn't a lot jam-packed into these. So we're still going to have an episode dedicated to it. So yeah, just to let everyone know again, we are explicit. Here is your explicit warning. Even though this is not a series that is as raunchy as ACOTAR, there is still a lot of, we're going to reference sex. It's going to be like, we're going to cuss. So please be wary of little listening ears.
Or don't, if you don't care.
Or
but
yeah,
you have
do
been
that.
warned.
Be that parent.
Be that babysitter.
Be the cool parent. But yes, before we get into our deep dive today, I did want to shout out our promotion/sponsor for the week, which is Tona Activewear. Tona, founded by one of Lulamom's original designers, is a premium line of leggings designed for women who train hard. They're moisture wicking and fit perfectly. Customers say it's like a push-up bra for the butt. Tona, the last black leggings you will ever need.
That always makes me laugh, a push-up bra for your butt.
It's a good slogan. You remember it. I do.
That's true.
Some good marketing strategy going on there.
Indeed.
So yeah, please stay to the end and you'll see some more fun facts from our promotion today. So it's a 16% off promotion discount for their leggings. And again, there are plus-sized options available because why would we buy them if they don't have
Why would we
plus-size?
sponsor stuff? Why would we sponsor stuff that doesn't fit us?
That we can't get, yeah. So it'll be
that we can't use and promote even like with ourselves.
Exactly. So it'll be 16% off with Twin Flames Between Worlds podcast, shortened, so TFBW podcast. So let's get right into it. I get to finally do the first previously on in the new season.
Previously on.
So previously on The Assassin's Blade. Our first book was The Assassin and the Pirate Lord, which kind of set up Selena and Sam's dynamic with Arabin and the Assassin's Keep and all that. And it's just kind of scraping the surface. But we kind of understand her morality now that she's an assassin, she kills people, but also slavery's a little bit too far.
Yeah. That's a good line in the sand.
We know she's not an asshole. We know she's like a heroic character.
She has morals.
Mm-hmm. We kind of ended very abruptly where Sam and Selena liberated those slaves, but it just ends and then we don't know where we're picking up. So it's interesting to see where it goes. And what's good about these novella books is that they're one after the other. They're not like all mixed up and jangled up. They're just one right after the other.
It's almost like you're getting flashes of a story.
It's in sequential order, yes, but it's flashes, correct. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So we're at chapter 1. At first, this is very interesting because I'm going to say this right out of the gate. Again, for people who don't know, even though you should know, that all of Throne of Glass is in third person. We didn't really mention that as much this last time around, but I wanted to mention it this time because it's very interesting because this is the only time in this novella book where we're getting the third POV, but not with Selena's knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. It's almost like we're in Yrene's perspective with her knowledge, but not in her POV and not in first person.
It is interesting because it's almost like a third person limited point of view where, typically it's like, limited third person POV is defined as person, like you're reading it in third person, but you're in this person's perspective, so you have all the knowledge they have. So it's similar to that, but like what you're saying, it's weird because we don't know how she got to this point, why she's here, or what happened in between that time. We don't get that yet.
Right. It's like we start out with Yrene. Mm-hmm. We see a strange woman in a bar, and like we learn to find out that's actually Selena, but we don't know that as like the reader because we're seeing it from. I've described it as this third POV how Sarah has written it, is like, it's almost like an angel or devil, whichever one you'd like to choose, on your shoulder. So it's like, okay, I don't get to know the character's like feelings about it, but it's like I'm still there with their knowledge of things.
It's like a fly on the wall, and that fly has been following you around.
Yes, for your whole life.
But they don't actually know what's inside your mind. They just have seen what you've been through.
Exactly. So we're at this place called the White Pig Inn, which doesn't seem to be great. Doesn't seem to be a great establishment. We don't know how long it's been passed, but like time has passed. I just love how she's the best dressed in the room. And again, when we get to her perspective, like we're seeing it from Yrene's eyes right now, but she's like in this kind of washed up drunkard part of town, but she's like the best dressed, has like a really nice robin egg brooch on, like
have a large sized ruby at that. It's big.
It's like she's wanting to stand out, which is very funny because as an assassin you'd think that she wouldn't want to stand out, but she's also Selena. So
and she's kind of, at least from what we're slowly getting, she's kind of pissy right now anyway, but she's basically like, hey, I'm a rich person in your weak ass town. What you gonna do about it?
Right. So we get our first side character here. Her name is Yrene Towers, which I personally love because my friend's name is Yrene, my oldest friend.
Even though it's spelled different, a Y versus an I.
It's spelled different, but if I was going to cast my friend in this series, this would be a perfect role for her.
I agree with that. Honestly, I do agree with that.
Funny side note, when I first started getting obsessed with Throne of Glass, I actually made a list of characters, and I was like, because I always saw myself as Selena, and I cast my friends in what I think their roles would have been.
Like a fan cast.
Yes. And they actually worked out really well. I'm not gonna lie. So yes, Yrene Towers is what we call a bar wench.
Bringing up the bar wenches again.
You know what? Be a good bar wench, dude. There's nothing to it. So she's obviously serving Selena, but she can't see her face, which is, as we know from the last book, she doesn't show her face. Like it's very rare for someone to see it. And I think Ralph was the first one to see it outside of the Assassin's Guild.
I think that's true.
Who isn't dead.
Yeah, he isn't gonna say anything about it. But of course she has like one of those big like cloak hoods where it's like it goes over your head and like hangs down like Reaper style.
Right. And it's like, so we find out that we're in a small town called Inish, is like a small port town, and it's not on any map. It's so small that it doesn't exist. But we know that it's in Melisande. So in terms of where we are now from the islands, we're very far. We're on the other side of this part of the continent.
I mean, it's technically even in terms of like horizontally. It's like even where it is on the map roughly, but it's definitely going from the east coast all the way over to the western side of like the eastern portion of the continent.
We're like on the coast before you get to like what they call the Gulf of Oro, which leads then to the desert land. So we kind of get some backstory about our good old pal Yrene here. She's been here for almost a year, and she's, I don't want to say like the Cinderella here, but she gets stuck with the worst tasks.
While the other bar wench is like sitting on sailors' laps and, being the pretty face that brings them in.
Yeah, girl.
And takes them out.
She's got some STDs. I'm like, letting you know that for sure, because these men are dirty as hell. I can just tell.
Let's not call it Inish. This town should be called Ickish.
I think it's just funny that she's like, I got the short end of the stick, and I'm like, you want to sit on that fucking ugly dude's lap? I'm like, okay, again, I don't know if this is not a would you rather that I would want to be a part of, but if I was, I think I'd go along with the fact of, I don't know, tending this woman who could kill me, maybe.
I mean, it already shows, like, Yrene is like, she mentions that she learned the art of avoiding wandering hands. So it's like, if she already, like, feels like she needs to avoid, people grabbing at her and whatnot, she would not like to sit on sailors' laps.
Not on their asses either, yeah, sure.
No, sit her ass on their laps.
So it's interesting Yrene is very observant of Selena. Like, I mean, obviously when anyone who's ever worked in a bar, you kind of have to be observant because you never know when like a fight's gonna break out, or like you have to be vigilant. in terms of that. So, but I also think she's just observant in her own right.
She does seem to have a keen eye.
Yeah, she's like, wow, this girl is drinking a lot and hasn't interacted with anyone.
Yeah.
She just wanders in, wanders back out. She hadn't touched the stew she'd been given for dinner. Smart woman. It wasn't good anyway. It also seems like this Nolan guy is her boss, who's also kind of an asshole.
And cheap.
Asshole, cheap. He's kind of just like, he sees Selena as somebody who's rich, and he's like, keep her drinking, keep her like buying, da-da-da, like, keep it going. God, this is gonna sound so stupid, even though like we're only in this a little bit, but I can totally see the foil of their two situations just already. This guy, Nolan, took her in when she had nowhere else to go, as we'll get into like her backstory, right? But so there's like this indebtment that she feels like she has to him.
It's kind of like she's, again, a really bad would you rather sort of thing of, would you rather be here in the inn and having a job and a roof over your head, even if it's a broom closet, or would you rather be out on the street whoring and, struggling to survive? Struggling,
yeah. I feel like unless you're in that situation, it's kind of hard to be like, well, of course I wouldn't be in that situation. It's like,
yeah,
glass castles, man. You can't, like you can't even imagine. So she'd been 18 and desperate, had just took the job to get some money because she has nowhere else to go. It kind of sucks because it's like she came here. We kind of get like snippets of her backstory. Like we don't know all of it right now because we're only in chapter 1, but it seems like Yrene has no home anymore and has nowhere else to go. Doesn't seem like she has any family.
And no money.
Has no family, no money, and she keeps like she lives in a bedroom under the stairs. She's like Harry Potter, but like in a whore town.
Literally calls it a broom closet under the stairs. So it's like,
right. I do. Wow, I'm so mean. In my notes, I go, Jessica seems to be a real whore.
Clearly.
It's just
she probably spends most of her time on the streets anyway.
I feel bad. Like we don't even get to interact with this character at all. And I'm just like, wow, what a real whore. You know what? You make your money, dude. But she's probably getting more money. Like,
that's true.
She probably has better conditions too.
I mean, honestly, though, like, she's probably also fucking Nolan, so.
Gross. I hate it.
So that could also earn her better conditions to live in.
So we do find out that Yrene she's dark skinned, she's got like dark hair, and she's got bright gold brown eyes, which is a very distinctive trait, especially she also comes from southern Fenharrow, which again, on the map, that's the country, I guess we could say, below Otterlin. It's like, it's one in the same. Fenharrow's on the east side, Melisandre's on the west side.
Yeah. They're about the same size in terms of continent, and they're like right next to each other. So it's like big Otterlin and big Yulway, and then just the two of them together.
Yeah, they're smaller countries for sure. Anytime I will say though, anytime like I see an eye color, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta remember that. Because it's like the whole Rhysand eye color thing, like ever since that. Again, I also have to remember I read ACOTAR before this. So I'm like, okay, anytime there's like someone with a distinct ass eye color, I'm writing it down.
Yes, yeah.
Because this might be important later, who knows?
Like with silver stormy eyes and violet eyes and...
Right. Well, also, we have to remember that these people are like of different ethnicities. So Yrene would seem more kind of like a foreigner to them because she's probably not the same skin tone and or like has the same accent. So they would know she's not from there, even though they're neighboring countries. So here we get to change into like Selena's third POV where we're like in her knowledge space. She hates this place. She thinks it fucking sucks, especially because we have established that Selena is she's very materialistic. Very
much so. She's like, I live in like this crappy place. And she's like, I wouldn't even call this place a suite.
Yeah, so she did get a room with the money she had, but it's not like, it's what they would consider the best room.
Right, the best room that like they can offer in Inish, I guess.
I do appreciate how she's like, no one would know that she's Otterlin's assassin under this cloak. I kind of do like that. That like, even though she's someone who's very gaudy, she at the same time doesn't want to be like seen.
I mean, we understand why as well now, but...
Well, I mean, yes, plus that. So in a few weeks, she's going to be turning 17.
Wow, she's so old.
By these standards, yes. Like, she's ready to have babies and be married.
Yeah, she should have been married 3 years ago.
No, done. Yeah, so this is a very interesting turn of events. I did not, since this was the first book I read, I did not know that this was what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
She is on a punishment quest.
Yep.
From Arabin, from her master, quote unquote.
How the frick did that happen? She was like his protege and his trusted, and she was sent on all these quests and stuff but then suddenly she's not.
The pride and joy, the heir of Arabin Hamel, the king of assassins. And now, because she broke one slave deal, he's sending her away.
Damn, Arabin, you really wanted those slaves.
So it's interesting. She does bring up the fact that she could have gone through, because again, sometimes you do have to reference the map. I'm sorry, guys. It says that she could have gone through the jungle to get to, but then she'd have to go through like forest and jungle, and I was like, that's way more dangerous.
And there's probably no roads there or anything.
No, than going on the quote-unquote King's Road to like Port City and just crossing from there. So let's not do that.
It would take longer to walk around as well versus, just taking a ship.
When she really just wants to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So she is headed to the deserted island, the deserted land, which we did talk about on the map. Just as Yrene is watching Selena is watching Yrene watch her, which is, I think, the most us moment I think I've ever heard. Is like, you're watching me, but I'm watching you react to you watching me.
And then me watching you to react to me watching you.
It's what happens when two observants are just sitting there and be like, and then we're just sitting there looking at each other and then not actually doing anything.
Just staring at each other.
Yep. Yeah. So not only is this place dirt cheap, the ale's cheap. She doesn't like the food.
It's literally dirt and cheap.
I mean, she does question why Yrene is here. She's like, this girl seems educated. Why is she here?
Right. In this crappy place with that pig.
Right.
The white pig,
But it's interesting, even though, like, again, let's remember that even though we're making fun of this place, Melisande fell. Their kingdom is gone. Their king,
they don't
their
even
queen,
have a capital.
Their whole royal family got slaughtered by Otterlin. And so Melisande is like economically struggling and forced to send like the supplies they do have through Eelway, because Eelway is the one that's still directly working with Otterlin. They're like directly working with Otterlin, even though like they still are rebelling against them. Some geographical politics going on here. Sometimes we forget when, especially in the first few books, I forget there's a war going on. I really do.
It's because Selena's not like involved in that war at all. At least from what we're getting.
Remember, it's kind of like when you think of The Walking Dead. Again, you don't have to like know The Walking Dead, but it's like how the young people in The Walking Dead didn't really know what was going on until they kind of were forced to grow up and they grew up into it. That's kind of how I feel about it sometimes. Is like, because we're following Selena, who's young.
Yeah.
She's not really grasping. It's like, it was their parents' quote unquote war, and now it's becoming theirs.
Yeah, but we're not really getting a taste of it yet because Selena's not involved in it yet.
No, because it's kind of still at a stalemate sort of situation. But it makes sense why this country's kind of shit, not gonna lie. So even though we're making fun of it does make sense. And wow, can I just say, I've never had such a quick turnaround of a character. Even Tamlin didn't take the cake, dude. Like, Arabin is such a fucking dick.
I know. I know. That's bad what he did.
That was the quickest turnaround of like, oh, he's kind of just like a weird dad character, to wow, he beat the fucking shit out of Black and Blue, bruises all over her face.
She probably had really bad swelling at some point.
For breaking a slave agreement.
And technically she did make sure that Arabin could never slave trade again.
Yeah, she made it so they both couldn't.
Yeah, so I guess that is a little bit more than just ruining one slave trade.
Well, and she like fucked up the relationship with Ralph and and
I mean, it was the right thing to do, even if she got to beat the shit beat out of her.
She says she doesn't regret doing it, and she shouldn't. It was the right thing to do.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
It's the fact that she's just been getting into bar fights.
She needs to some way to work off that energy.
It's specifically starting bar fights with people she knows can't win.
Yeah. I like how she was like talking about, well, one of the guys was cheating in a card game, so I sliced him open. Well, she didn't slice him open, but she's like, but that was reason enough for me to punch him and, fight with my fists.
Right. It's like, okay. She's like, I feel like myself again. I feel like On Yrene's assassin.
By punching this helpless man who just maybe cheated in a card game.
I think it's interesting, though, that when we saw in Irene's perspective that she was wearing the brooch, Yrene was seeing it as kind of an innocent, you shouldn't be wearing that here. You're going to get it stolen from you. Versus Celaena's like, come at me, bitch. That's why I'm wearing it.
She's wearing it for that exact reason.
I want to wear stuff so that you try to steal from me so that I can literally knock you out.
Or kill you even.
Yeah, it's fine with me. Well, but she also wants it kind of stolen from her because apparently Arobynn gave her that brooch.
Mm-hmm. She's really not liking Arobynn right now, and I understand why.
It's kind of interesting, right? Because, like I said last episode, it's weird because we're seeing Celaena's downfall of her father figure character, even though it's very fucked up.
Father figure, lover, brother.
Which is, like, grotesque. That still doesn't... That's, like, another way incestuous level that I can't even fucking comprehend, and I don't want to comprehend it.
Not even incestuous in the right way. If there is no right way for incest, but at the same time, like, incest at least, like, follows the rules. Like its own rules. But this father figure, lover, brother, what the fuck is that?
Why did you just sound like me right there? It's not incest in the good way. I mean, y'all heard of House of the Dragon?
No, I didn't say good way.
You did say good way.
I said right way.
The right way, good way.
I mean, there is no right way either, but
right
way is better
than
good way.
If it's right, I will say the Targaryens are my only excuse. They're the only one who get the incest excuse from me, and I think it's okay.
They do good incest, says Tabitha.
Yeah, because they're magically bond. We've talked about this. Anyway, so we are seeing like the downfall of like what she thinks about him. She like is starting to like stop believing in him, and or that she even wants to be in his guild anymore. To be like with, I mean, she even thinks about running away.
She's like, I wonder if I actually do want to be Queen of the Assassins. It's almost like she had such faith in him, and she was confident being his protege. And now there's a crack. I mean, the crack honestly started when she found out that Arobynn was participating in slave trade. But, like, then, when she decided to do what was right and freed them, and Arobynn's reaction to that and beating the shit out of her, which he sounds like he's never, like, actually beat her up before.
Not like that.
That crack is just getting bigger and bigger.
Well, I could imagine someone being upset, but the fuck? Well, okay, I can't imagine someone being upset about slaves, but, like, I'm saying in the sense of, like, if you're thinking of it in the practical way, if I fucked up someone's business deal, I can imagine someone being like, okay, yeah, that upset me, but beating someone up for that, especially someone who's like your daughter in a lot of senses, or someone you care about, like that's not someone you care about. That's someone you're trying to punish because they failed.
Yeah.
She even says that, so her punishment is to go and train with the mute assassins in the deserted land. First of all, badass. I'm already intrigued by that.
I will say, I didn't think, I mean, again, this is only my first time rereading it, but when I first read it, I didn't think that sounded like a punishment. Like, she wants to be Queen of Assassins, or at least she thinks she still does kind of right now. And so supposedly these mute assassins, that sounds like a big thing. Like it sounds like they're skilled and stuff. So it's like, oh, go train with these skilled people and get better. Like that's kind of how I interpreted it at first.
Well, I remember when I read this the first time and I was like, wait, do people really think Arobynn is the king of assassins? These assassins are on the way other side of the world. Is Arobynn really the king of assassins, or is he just saying that? Because these assassins are like on the other side of the world.
I mean, didn't they like call him like say like go train with the mute master or something?
Yeah, it's like he's a master, but he's not like the king of assassins.
It's like I feel like I would trust a master of assassins more than a king of assassins.
That just sounds like he's saying that and doesn't like it's not actually the case.
Right, versus a master. It's like, oh, that sounds like someone who's trained for a long time.
That sounds like some Karate Kid shit where like, okay, like I'm actually learning some good stuff from this. I understand what you mean by it wasn't a punishment. I guess I didn't necessarily like, I still saw it as he was sending her away.
Which, okay, maybe I guess that is the punishment of like, I'm sending you away from On Yrene. I'm sending you away from Rifthold. I guess I could see that.
Well, it's also fucked because we don't know what happened to Sam. Like, and that kind of worried me in the sense of like,
we got back together, but I don't know what happened to Sam. He could be dead for all I know.
And that like made me upset because I was like,
we just met him. He can't be dead yet.
Also, we just got some like cute stuff. You gotta let that go. So she's even considering leaving Rifthold and starting a new life in the Southern Continent, which is very hilarious, considering who we're talking about here. But there's still this lingering fear that Arobynn will track her down and kill her. So it's like she doesn't feel free.
No. And also what happens to Sam if she goes? Because Sam was the one who, in the last novella, he was the one who said, let's run away together.
Yeah, he did. And she was like, no, we can't, because he'll find us. It almost seems like she wants to start her own Assassin's Guild. But it's almost like, how do you go about doing that when Arobynn's like, he thinks he's, I don't know. But it seems like that's her goal.
Yeah.
A new goal is maybe wanting to start her own guild instead of being under Arobynn's.
Right.
I do appreciate how at the end she's just like, well, this is going to be a wild night. I was like, hell yeah, it is. Probably the wildest night of this whole entire journey so far. So as the night shifts later down along the line, Yrene feels this shift in the air. It's like they both have like a sixth sense to this shit.
They both notice of like there's tension in the air.
I mean, you need to know this shit. It's kind of funny how it's common knowledge that Celaena's leaving tomorrow morning.
I know, that made me laugh when it's like, it was common knowledge that she's leaving. I mean, I guess it's a small town, but like...
I mean, bitch, if someone came up into your town and was like staying for a bit, I feel like everyone would know.
Hey, did you see that rich bitch that came into town the other day?
When I came into your town? How long is she gonna be here?
Let's rob her.
That's not what I meant, but also I'm going to tell you right now, guys, there are way more rich people than me living up in those mountains. I was not
The mountains
rich.
of Inish, what?
The mountains, yeah. Can I just say, they're always playing kings. I read this, but they're playing kings again. I was
now we know what kings is.
Now we know it, and now I guess that's like their version of poker.
I guess so. It's the commoner's game.
It's very funny that Yrene notices the thieves circling Celaena because she's very nervous about them. But I don't think she thinks that Celaena knows that they're circling.
Yeah, Yrene is like, this poor woman, she's gonna get ambushed.
It's like,
Think again.
So we get a little bit more about Irene's backstory. So Irene's mother was a healer, and not just any healer, a magical healer. I love how I'm saying that to an audience of kids.
Magical.
She's a magical healer, guys. No, like magic as in magic. We didn't really talk about this because again, we're still getting to know the world a little bit. Magic is gone. In this world, magic doesn't exist anymore. 8 years ago, it vanished.
Yeah.
And all the people who had magical blood or were magical people stopped having magic.
Yeah. I mean, at least they didn't vanish too, but yeah.
For some unknown reason that we don't know, right? I mean, that sounds very sus. And Irene's mother treated any person that needed it, regardless of whose side who was on.
They were given a gift to be able to heal. So why charge for that when other people cannot pay, when they don't have that gift for themselves?
And what's interesting is we get to be introduced to our first god, which I didn't think, again, this is very different than ACOTAR, where there's actual gods for things. So it's Silba, the goddess of healing, apparently is the person who blesses every person who is gifted with healing magic.
Yeah.
Which is funny because then Irene's mother believes that magic vanished because the gods commanded it. Which is, girl, I'm going to tell you right now, and guys, this is so interesting because especially setting up this world, not only are we setting up the war elements of this, but we're setting up this lack of faith that gods just abandoned them.
Yeah.
Or left or died or whoever you are. They think the gods are gone.
It's like, we must have fucked up so badly that the gods abandoned us.
And it's like, hey, one kingdom fucked us over, and now we're all paying the price.
Right. Although, I think you probably wanted to mention this as well, but just the fact that it's gods, plural.
Gods. Yes. Gods and goddesses. Which I was like, you know how much I love a good Greek god lore.
Yeah.
So, God lore. I don't know if I necessarily believe that the gods commanded the magic to go away, but there's some people who don't believe the gods exist. It's so interesting to see like who believes in what, because we get Celaena's thoughts about it later, and obviously she doesn't think the same way. Irene's mom had never taken a life. She'd only given it, and she only took one life one time. She killed an Otterland soldier to save Irene's life.
It's like, run, Yrene, go hide in the forest.
And it's like the smell of bonfire as she's running. So basically what this is saying in uncertain terms is that her mom was burned at the stake.
Burn the witch.
Like the witch trials, that's really what it was. And it shows that whilst, let me just say this, Yrene was swept away into the nearby safety of Oakwald Forest. I will say, to me, Oakwald seems like that place that is just kind of the safe haven, in a sense of like, it's just a big forest in the middle of nowhere.
It basically goes pretty much from north to south. There's no Oakwald in Fenharrow, but
No.
The other ones, the other four all have Oakwald.
But it's fucked because we get to meet our first child who had their life basically taken away by the Empire.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know enough about Celaena's backstory to know, but I mean, I think she's kind of the same way. And I think everybody is... Sorry.
I just realized what I said about Fenharrow not having any Oakwald, and she and her mother were from Fenharrow. So they must have been like right near the border.
Well, they must have been in Otterland somewhere.
Maybe in Otterland, but if they were still in Fenharrow, they would have had to be right near the border for them to be close to Oakwald.
I think our first instance of someone being orphaned by, I guess our first example of being orphaned by the Empire, and she had to watch her mom get killed too.
She was like hiding behind a tree watching her mom burn alive.
Which is fucked.
Yeah, no wonder she has a strong stomach.
So that means that Yrene has the potential of having healing magic, and she kind of does say that she did have it, but now that magic's gone, like she doesn't, which is so fucking curious. How can you have, when I first read this, I was like, how can you guys have magic in your blood, but like you just can't access it?
Yeah.
I had so many questions.
It's almost like magic isn't gone. It's almost like it's subdued, dampered.
There's like a lock and key on it.
Yeah.
And was it the gods? Was it something else? We don't know.
That's what we got. Gods, you guys really pissed him off, Outerlyn.
That's what we have to figure out for real.
Yeah.
So then a creepy guy starts hitting on Yrene, which we've all had that at a bar. My biggest thing was we all know that same feeling of having to lie about that we're with someone to a creepy guy.
Well, I haven't experienced that, but I know the vibe.
Trust me, it'll happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want it to happen to you, but it will happen. So she wears her mother's wedding ring to protect herself. Someone asking her. Not that, okay, in this day and age, no one gives a fuck if you're wearing a wedding ring. I'm going to tell you right now, which is stupid. But in that day and age, there was like accountability. Her husband could come after you and kill you. You don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
So you weren't going to maybe go up to someone who had a wedding ring on their finger. It's like, yep, I'm going home with my husband later.
It's like, what you doing after your shift? Going home to my husband.
It's like, anyway, what a perpetual state of affairs. So then, yes, we get to Celaena being bored out of her mind. She's like, okay, I'm mad. No one has tried to do anything to me.
No one's tried to kill me yet.
Why aren't you coming at me?
Fuck y'all. Come at me. Kill me.
This is where she talks about Sam, and she says she doesn't know if Sam is alive or dead. She even says, I've never really had the luxury of friends, and it seems like, especially after having an ordeal, I think we're friends now. We did this, we're friends now.
Which, although it does kind of suggest that, I mean, again, we're not giving the details of it, but it does suggest that she knows that something happened to him. She just doesn't know if he's alive. I mean, because if Celaena got punished that bad and she was the favorite, I can only imagine what happened to Sam. Who, like, as we talked about with the last episode, it seemed what we had said then was that Erwin had sent Sam to basically keep Celaena in check.
Unless she took the beating for him. I could have seen that.
Yeah, true.
But then she would have known what happened to him afterward, even after that, because he could have went back on his word because this guy doesn't seem to be like the nice type.
No, and especially if say Celaena was beat up and then sent away immediately, she wouldn't stick around to see what happened to Sam.
The fact that she's even saying that when she wants her own Assassin's Keep that she wants to have him with her is like a big step for someone who's so I'm a lone wolf about shit.
Yeah.
To say I want someone by my side, even if it is just a friend, is very, very sweet.
It is. And then especially because she thought, she didn't really like him before the Skulls Bay thing. Until
they kind of figured out that they're both on the same moral compass as each other in terms of what's too much.
Yeah.
So yes, but then we get Yrene still working, slaving away in the back. No fights.
Cleaning all the mugs and stuff.
Cleaning some blood off the floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jessa, the whore, went up to go do whore things, and she still has to stick down below and clean up everything. Girl, I'm not gonna lie to you, rereading this again after, especially being in some same places, this is very real. Her talking about the insecurity she feels about her place in life. She's like, I feel stuck. I wasn't supposed to be here for this long. And now I'm just stuck in this perpetual state of affairs where I'm paying rent, I'm paying these bills, and they're like extremely high. But also at the same time, should I be grateful that I'm even here and living versus not? God, it's like the big philosophical, would I rather be starving chasing my dreams, or would I rather be happy and healthy doing something I hate?
Right.
It's a big philosophical question that none of us want to answer.
There's no real good answer for it anyway.
Yeah, it makes me feel bad when she says, like, what would her mom think about where she is at? Because it's almost like she seems like she's disappointing her because she's not doing what she wanted and that she planned to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Yrene was 11 when her mother was killed. And for 6 years afterwards, she spent with her cousin.
Out on like a farm.
Yes. So again, this is important to talk about because again, we didn't know this going in. We know On Yrene has conquered, but we don't exactly know why. I mean, superiority, of course, is always like something.
And power and money and all that sort of stuff, but yeah.
It seems like they don't like magic wielders. It seems like they were the quote-unquote humans with no magic, whilst all of the other territories had people with magic in them. Whether or not they were tinkerers or healers or whatever, like, it's almost like they were the underdogs and the other places were dominated by magic people.
Yeah.
So, because she talks about being in danger by On Yrene's forces for having magic in her blood. So even though magic doesn't quote unquote exist anymore, there's still this level of they want to kill her anyway, despite the magic.
Almost like just for even having a connection to magic, she's their enemy.
Which is like, I have very many questions about that because it's setting up a reason for On Yrene doing what it's doing, but also like still there's pieces missing.
Or it's more of like a motive of like what they're doing, but not an explanation or a reason. There's no backstory yet.
Right. And so she walked off that farm on her 18th birthday, and her dream is to become a healer in Antica, in the southern continent. Antica is the capital city. It is the place of the Torre Cesme, and it's also pronounced like that too. The rolling of the R, the Torre.
Or if you can't roll your R's, Torre Cesme.
So the American version.
Torre. Well, it's more of a flip.
Anyway, I was just, I'm just having a ball.
Being fancy.
So, well, because I always say it like that. It's like the Ouroboros. Like, I have to say it like...
Ouroboros.
The Ouroboros, mire. You're welcome. So, her dream is to become a healer, right? And so, Antica, from our map video, is in the southern continent, which is very far from where they're at, and is the best place in the world to be taught how to be a healer.
The best healers live there, for sure.
Yes. So, learning from the best is what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
So this bitch traveled on foot from Fenharrow into the mountains of Melisande through Oakwald, eventually winding up so this bitch traveled through Oakwald to get to where she's at even now.
Yeah.
Badass.
She did that alone, too, as an 11-year-old. Well, no.
That's already impressive.
17-year-old.
I don't want to forget this. They say, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, they say that Antica still has magic. They say that the southern continent is a realm untouched by On Yrene in the war, and that they still have access to magic.
Which is, like, confusing, because how is it possible for magic to only disappear in one continent?
That girl, great question. I was so happy about this. I had so many questions. This made me want to read on. I was like, how the fuck is there only one continent that doesn't have magic?
Yeah.
I think it was a world thing, not just a continent thing. Again, we don't know that. I would like to believe that the other continents maybe have magic.
But for now, it's just a rumor.
But again, I'd believe her. I'd believe her in a heartbeat. That kind of does make sense.
And it seems like she would know, probably. She probably... Honestly, she probably got stories from her mother about the Torre Cesme.
So, as she made her way there, she ran out of money in Inish, so she couldn't get a boat to the southern continent, because that's the port city, right? That's exactly what Selena's doing. And then got stuck in this state of affairs, where she's trying to save up money, but because she's also paying for a room to stay in, she's not really saving any money.
Right, and then, it's like the classic thing of, like, get this person to stay here forever, of Nolan either raising rent or paying her less. Or even saying, like, well, you got to pay me this amount of your tips. outside of your rent. And it's like he's doing all the things to keep her there, and so she is kind of stuck.
Which is why I'm glad that in modern culture we have labor laws, because yes, is rent always expensive and like shit is very expensive for everyone? Yes. But I do appreciate that we're not stuck in those old ass labor laws anymore.
Yeah.
Where they could just change shit like that. Anyway, no one wants to talk about the real world.
That's not why we're here.
I'm trying to understand what I meant by this. Oh, I made a joke because she said that Nolan would be upset if the urchins were stealing garbage. And I was like, imagine getting mad about that.
It's like, you're not going to eat this food anyway.
Yeah, why would you be upset about that?
And specifically that he would, I think it's just another reason, like he's not actually upset. It's just another reason for him to take money out of Yrene's wages.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. So she's like cleaning all that shit up too. I'm like, girl, there's something better than this. Hell, we hate creepy men.
Yes.
Dear God. So she's
They're
like
everywhere.
Because Yrene's like in this back alley where it's like, I'm imagining the streets of New York with like a back alley, or just any big city. I don't know why I was specifically thinking New York. A back alley, and then just all these these thief guys that she was talking about earlier, and the creepy dude from the bar. They dagger her. They come up behind her and grab her.
Yeah,
dude. The fact that Selena came in like a horror movie, like she came in like Batman, pulling like one from the other into the mist.
It's just the fact that it's mist, and, it says mist, but I'm thinking fog with how it's being described of you can't see through it. Almost like it's silence, and then suddenly you're grabbed by a monster and pulled into it, and then you don't hear anything. It's like, hey, you still there? Hello? And then someone else gets grabbed. John? And then someone else gets grabbed from another angle. It's like, how did they get there? Are there multiple? Who knows?
Right. No, it's exactly like that. It was in my head like a movie.
Yeah.
I loved that. Come out and face us like a proper man. And she's like,
proper men like you who would corner a poor girl in the alley.
It's so badass, dude. I can't even handle it. Like, it's so cool. I just graphic when it comes out. Like, I could just imagine the echoey, like, ha 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 ha, you thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, you really think? And then she's like, slowly emerges. It was also like the emerging while also with the blood dripping down the daggers.
And specifically the double daggers.
There is a photo of that somewhere. We could put in the Discord. I think it was in the coloring book I have. That was one of the moments that they depicted.
Makes sense.
It was her with the daggers. And of course they're going to underestimate a woman. Why wouldn't they?
Right.
Irene really does think, like, she's like, oh my God, this woman's gonna get demolished. How could she hold her own with a man that's like way bigger than her? It's like, did you see the fact that she just took out 3 dudes with no problem?
Right.
You should be more worried about you.
Yeah. But like, she's just like, oh no, she's gonna get hurt.
She doesn't even need to use her daggers. She just knock people out.
Yeah, but she's using it just for more fun for her.
Yep. Like, she wanted to have this fight.
Yeah.
So it didn't come to her. She's saving someone else. But there's also, like, I do think there's a selfishness intention. Like, I don't really think... I think Selena is our heroine, right? Of course she wants to save someone. There was kind of a selfishness there. Like, she probably wouldn't have done this for... Like she would have fought them anyway, even if there wasn't someone there to save.
It literally said, like, she didn't mean to save the barmaid.
She just thought, okay, guys in an alley, like, let's beat them up.
Specifically, I love the fact that she said that she was following them. She, like, saw them stalking around, and she's like, oh, okay, they're looking for trouble. I'll follow them. Mm-hmm. It's like, then she starts, like, killing and knocking them out and stuff. It's like, oh, wait, I saved you? Oh, good for you.
Good for you. So one does get away. She does, like, let one escape, which...
I knew even from the get-go he'd be coming back.
Oh, yeah. No, I was like, this is, even though this is like a short set of chapters, like, he's coming back. I think it's funny, and I do appreciate that Yrene thinks that Selena's going to kill her.
Yeah. Instead of being immediately like, oh, thank you so much for saving me. She's just like, please don't kill me.
She's like, you could kill me. I know you could.
And she's like, what's the point in saving you then?
She's like, but then it literally goes to Selena hadn't meant to save her. Been sheer luck. So yeah, Selena is bleeding down her bicep.
Mm-hmm.
And Yrene is like, this is my job. Like, I want to help you. Like, I could bind it for you.
And also, like, to be fair, who knows what's on that that knife. They're dirty thieves, mercenaries, whatever. They probably don't clean their knives. Like, even if there wasn't any, like, poison or whatever on the blade, it's dirt, rust, fluids, whatever.
Ew.
Yeah.
Fluids.
That's almost as bad as saying moist.
Well, moist never bothered me, though. Like, no, I don't know why moist doesn't bother me, but fluids bothers me. I guess I'd rather hear cum, which is, like, weird to say. Like,
because fluids tends to include other stuff. Blood and sweat and saliva, piss and...
my blood, sweat, and tears.
But not the good kind.
No, not our BTS kind. Yeah, I think Yrene is shocked that other women know how to fight. Which tells me a lot about this world, and that there aren't very many women fighters, and that they're going to be very few and far between.
Makes sense. Seems like a very male-dominated world.
You don't owe me anything if you'd use some common sense. Damn.
If you knew how to fight and defend yourself and actually think, like, I wouldn't have to save you.
That's more like, okay, you went into a back alley... with nobody there, yeah. But I mean, to be fair, I've done that before too, and I've worked night shifts like that, so I can't really... It was more of an open area, though. It wasn't an alleyway. And there were cameras, let's just all know. Ooh, I don't know if you noticed this, but when Selena's at first reluctant to receive help, Selena kind of pauses when Yrene invokes Silba's name, the goddess's name.
She was just like, it isn't that often. No one invokes goddess names anymore.
Unless they were someone who had magic. Because it seems like the gods were the people who gave them magic, or like gave the bloodlines magic. So,
and it also seems like the healers are more so believing in God and goddess, and obviously Silba. Just because it's like, Silba, grant me this power to heal. I could totally see it being that sort of almost religious level of healing.
Right. Which in this day and age, it seems like is a very much a target on your back if you talk like that.
Yeah.
So I think she was a little bit thrown off.
And it's almost like, she went from this meek, weak thing to being, well, like we talked about with the healers in Akatar, of them kind of being no nonsense. I mean, Yrene doesn't seem to be like that, but it's similar in the way of like, I almost see like hands on her hips of like, Silva knows what was on that blade.
It's like, because Yrene has been in this town for so long and suppressed by Nolan, whatever forces that be that has kept her in Ish for so long, it's almost like she's not herself anymore. Or she's definitely suppressed her healer-esque urges.
Yeah.
Even though I don't necessarily condone the tough love approach, I do appreciate how it makes sure that Yrene gets it. Because as we know, Selena doesn't have much time to get through to her. Because all they have is the night.
Right. She's leaving in the morning.
So, because of the way Yrene talks to her, Selena wants to give her some piece of advice, but because it's so quick, she's kind of just got to give her the tough love and be like, yeah, why the fuck were you out here by yourself?
And she's also baffled why she wants to give advice to Yrene.
Yeah, and I think I can give more of an explanation for that later when she describes it in the last chapter, but she can't necessarily be blamed for not knowing how to defend herself, since it's not something that people get taught all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's going to be people who are teaching themselves, you know what I mean? I do appreciate that when Selena does give her that, she doesn't cry. She kind of puts her foot down and is still strong.
And like, no, I'm going to heal you.
It's like, nope, you're coming with me. I mean, it is true. She could end up losing it, it could have an infection.
Go fair on her.
Well, the infection in the arm. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just while there's 3 bodies, with the rats and crows already picking at it, the fun shit.
Hungry rats.
It's like, oh my God, I hate that.
Yeah.
So then, of course, Yrene brings Selena to her bedroom under the stairs, the little cramped space.
Yeah.
So we're kind of back in Irene's perspective. Yrene did not want to see any more fighting. I doubt this is going to be the last of it that you're going to see. I'm sorry, honey.
Yeah.
Of course, it's like the least she can do. It's like, it's what she wants to do, but at the same time, she feels indebted to Selena, so it's like a win-win. Selena reveals herself, which I did not think she was going to do that. Because again, like, she made such a big stink about wearing the mask in the last book.
Yeah.
That I was a little bit surprised that she didn't have it.
She didn't have her mask in any case, but, I mean, I wonder if her mask was, like, taken away. But either way, she puts down her hood. Even though literally in this first chapter just now, like she was saying, I won't let anyone see my face because I'm all bruised up.
Versus her, she feels comfortable with her. We've already shared, like, you're not going to tell anyone.
And it almost feels because, like, the pause that you mentioned, it almost felt like the switch was there of the moment that the goddess's name was invoked that like made her trust Yrene for some reason.
Yeah, because it seems like anyone who's like a magic person is like automatically like against the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems like she's not pro-Empire either. I think she's very much neutral.
Yeah.
But very much leaning toward no Empire. The fact that she's younger than Yrene is crazy.
By like 2 years.
Yrene's baffled by that. She's like, because she seems so much more mature.
Yeah. Or aged due to her experiences.
I hate bringing it up. I don't really. Yrene says, even though the gods have abandoned her, Yrene, blah, blah, blah. It's interesting. They keep bringing up the gods specifically in this section. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't know if it's just the magic wielders. I don't know if it's because it's Yrene herself, but she believes in the gods, but she also still thinks they abandoned them. Mm-hmm. Do you think they're real? Do you not think they're real? I mean, my first instinct was anytime someone or a majority of the population's like, nah, gods are just myth. I think that's bull. They're always
real.
You
always go against. I feel like, yeah, I think they're real. I think more so just for the fact of, I don't know, it feels because Yrene is saying, instead of just being like, yeah, the gods are real, like, I know they're always with us, which can sometimes kind of lead to that bullshit feeling. Just specifically, she's saying it's like, the gods are real, but they have left us because we did something wrong. It almost seems like a mortal moment of, we must have done something wrong for the gods to leave us. And I understand that, they had to leave us for some reason. I don't know. I feel like I'm not explaining it very well. But I think it's just the fact that she's not a zealot. Like, she's not completely obsessed with the gods. She's just like, I know that the gods have my back.
Yes. But also was like, I understand why you abandoned. First of all, let me say again, bitch. We got the short end of the stick. We were fine. It was Otterlin that fucked us over.
Yeah.
So another thing is that besides the god thing, it's something that Yrene says that Otterlin made them all grow up too fast, which is real. I mean, yeah, losing a parent and having all that war happen to you, really, it's just like that apocalypse reference I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. They feel older because that's what they are now.
Right. I mean, it has been 8 years since the conquest started. Well, since magic disappeared and the conquest started.
Let me just say for the record, Selena does never mention her name at all in this whole part. So she doesn't even, Yrene never knows who this woman's name is.
No, like in every single Yrene part, it's just the girl or the woman.
The strange woman or whatever.
It started as the woman. And then, once she revealed her face of the girl said this.
Yeah. My name is Yrene Towers. I mean, Selena's she's always been a blunt bitch. She's just like, yeah, what is the daughter of a healer doing in a piece of shit town like this? I mean, so Yrene gives her the lowdown. She says, like, I want to go to Antica. I want to go to the Healer's Academy, but I got stuck here. Mm-hmm. I never left. I guess staying here became easier and simpler. And Selena says, I would rather starve in the streets of Antica than live here.
Yeah. Honestly, that is real, though. Like, you get stuck in a place.
Oh, yeah. That is a real life, oh my God, almost post-college feeling that everyone has. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm stuck in this place and I'm never going to get out. And what Selena is saying here is that there's always a choice. You might not like that choice, but it's there. Mm-hmm. You could be, like, let's just say, you could be out destitute in the streets of LA, trying to live your dream, working so many other jobs to kind of make ends meet, but not really progressing. You could stay at home and get a bunch of money, but you're not going to ever be happy. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was for me as well. I could always see my life happy back home, I could see my life being content.
Yeah, I'd have difference.
A bunch of money, I'd have great friends, my family would be there, but I never saw myself as ever happy in that life. So this one hit me a lot because this was me 2 years ago, being like, wow, saving up money, and then saving up money turns into, oh, I'm gonna do this, but then never doing it.
Right.
So I understand what Selena's saying here 100%. And we talked about eye color. So they didn't bring this up in the first episode, but the first book. Selena has a ring of gold around her eye.
I think her eyes, they just seem very pretty. Specifically, I mean, we're both fans of blue eyes. And we've said that many times. But I think just the fact that it's like turquoise eyes with a ring of gold around it.
That's badass.
It's so cool. Like, I always love, I mean, we've talked about it before. We always love, like, two-tone eyes. But then also, like, with Yrene talking about how the gold around her eyes looks like wildfire. And it's like, okay, so that's coming back probably.
Well, that's more like that made me think that she's got magic. That maybe she's like Yrene, and that's why, like, maybe not necessarily a healer, but she's someone that has magic, or that has that magic within her. Right,
or maybe she had a god that she believed in as well. And so when Silva's name was invoked, she's like, oh, that's a magic user.
It would make sense. I do kind of enjoy that she's having an Amren moment here. Let me give you some advice, girl.
But, like, one working girl to another. And Yrene is just like, I don't know what kind of a working girl you are.
I love, like, because it's kind of like a double entendre. Like, she knows what she's saying, but also, like, from one working girl to another.
Yeah.
Exactly why I'd be perfect for this role. If you're gonna be miserable, because life is not fair, you might as well be miserable in Antica.
Under
who
the
knows?
shadow of the Torre Chesme.
Who knows? Maybe they're nicer over there. Maybe they take homeless people off the street. Who knows?
Or if the rumors are true, magic is there. You'll have your magic, which probably means maybe the gods are back over there.
Well, because, I mean, you guys know about, like, those monk temples or whatever. As long as you make it over there, you don't have to, like, pay to be there. Like, you just get taken in.
Yeah, you stay as long as you need.
Yeah, so you don't know. So I also do appreciate how Selena knows her shit about the Torre, because she says it, like, in the accent, too. She's like, the Torre Chesme, and then it's like, oh, damn, she knows her stuff.
Specifically, she's like, she said it perfectly. I'm surprised someone said it perfectly.
Right.
But it's like she has this class moment of, like, Torre Chesme, just steal the fucking money.
Yeah. You're so right. She's just, like, so class, and then she's like, so why didn't you steal it? And then she's like, Irene's like, oh, I'm not that type of person. Here's what I'm talking about, dude. There's always a choice. You might not like that choice, but there are options. And if your morality doesn't let you, like, steal to get what you want, okay, there was a choice, though.
Yeah. You can't say there was no choice.
Yeah, because that's the idea that there is no choice is a facade. Yeah, but I say in my notes, but Yrene is an ethical bitch. If you want something, then go take it. The girl wasn't like wildfire, she was wildfire.
Big difference.
Yrene is very hopeful. She's like, too many people are like that nowadays. I don't want to be another one of those people. Versus Selena is, and I'm going to say this a lot, but a lot of the women in this book, or in these books, they're all foils of Selena in some way. At least to me. Yrene is Selena if she decided not, or like the ethical part of Selena that still exists. The hopeful side. That's what Selena sees in her, and that's why this interaction is even going on. Because Selena sees herself in her.
Right.
And she's actually happy that there's someone who still is good and still believes in those things. Yeah, it was a hard time to be a gifted healer on this continent. The King of Otterland didn't leave much of his people or royal family alive.
Great, so he's killing all the royals.
Yepers. I mean, this is our first time that we're getting a glimpse of, yes, the king or the Otterland Empire killed the royal families of these other countries, except for Eelway. They're the only people that don't have their royals killed off.
Yeah.
Which then makes me question why.
Right.
Which is still fucked. The idea of the Empire is still a question to me. And that's why it makes it interesting, right? Though Selena also does put up a good other question. What do you do? Well, if you go to the Torre, like, what are you doing afterward? What's your goal?
What's the plan?
I'd come back here. Not to here, I mean, but to the continent. There's a lot of people who need good healers these days.
Yeah.
Because it's the right thing to do.
And all the other healers got burned.
Yeah, well, yes.
Or are in hiding.
It's funny that it's not funny, but Yrene brings up, dude, Selena could be an Otterland loyalist. The fact that she's telling her this, she has no idea that this woman could maybe, like, go back and tell and be like, hey, there's some bitch in Inish who's a magic wielder, or at least she's got magic in her blood, come take her, or kill her, whatever. She's trusting her very innately. And I think that's what's making
hesitation.
And Selena's very taken aback by that. She doesn't know what to say. She's like, you'd really come back to here to help us. Damn.
That's a true healer right there.
I know. The fact that Yrene says, I could heal the stuff on your face, and she's like, no, these are meant as a reminder. I'm going to keep them.
A reminder to who? To me.
That I will never forget what this motherfucker did to me. Hell no, don't take it away. I want to see it every day so that I know to never trust this man again.
Right.
Oh, honestly, girl, this was my favorite part about this section. I mean, this is such a good section, believe it or not, but Celaena teaches Yrene how to defend herself with no weapons.
Like, Celaena's actually being a good teacher here. I mean, and she's describing it in the way that this Ben that we never met.
Mm-hmm.
But Ben was mentioned, in Assassin and the Pirate Lord in our last episode. But it's like, she's teaching the way that she was taught. Not by Erben, of course, because fuck that guy.
It's what a good person would do.
Yeah.
But also, they only have the night. She could have just let her be and, got healed and left. But, the tit for tat happened. I saved you. You helped me. I don't need to do any more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But she goes, hey, if you're going to be, following your dreams or whatever, you might as well. And it brings up a good point because women are not taught how to defend themselves unless they're fucking assassins.
And most aren't assassins.
Most are not. It seems like she's one of the only ones we know, at least for now.
Right.
She helped her because her dream was so genuine and innocent that how could she say no? Because like I said, she sees herself in Yrene. She talks about, she has this monologue where she says, a lifetime ago, another person ago, I wanted to be a healer. I wanted to go to the Torre and learn. I wanted to go read books and learn all I could about healing people. That wasn't me. It's like she's giving that other person that life, which is a big old question mark. We don't have any questions to that, but what the fuck do you mean a person ago?
A person ago. So that's just a weird way to say it as well.
Yeah, it's like, I have questions.
But that's the point.
She's, teaching this lifetime ago person that, what she probably couldn't have done. And she sees that
even though Celaena's younger than Yrene, it's almost like, I don't know, it's like that whole phrase of, if I had learned this in a different way, or if I had decided to go this direction, we would be the same.
Celaena has definitely had more life experience. And unfortunate things happen to her than Yrene to make her so knowledgeable about this kind of stuff, which is unfortunate. So they go back into the alley where
the dead bodies are still laying around.
Still rotting. That's fucking crazy. Not that it didn't smell that bad already in Inish, but okay. This is what I meant at the beginning, girl, when I was talking about, you got a night. This is not a night for pleasantries. This is not a night for making it easy on you. I got to teach you what to do now until you just got to learn it.
And this is a chance for a change.
This is okay, this is somebody giving you a crash course in survival and you got to either pay attention or
you're still going to just be stuck here.
Yeah. She's giving her not only a monetary thing of protection, she's giving her an internal, also physical protection that would make her feel more secure, less vulnerable in this predicament. So she says they will pick you out if you look vulnerable and will take you away from everyone else. So basically she's saying, buck up, look scary.
Right. And also, don't let them isolate you. Don't let them take you to a different location.
Girl, why is that me?
Buck up, look scary.
It's not that I've said that to you, but I have told you that people don't mess with me because they think I look scary.
And yet you're also always questioning why they're scared of you. It's because you buck up and look scary.
You've seen this firsthand though, but it's not like I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to be scary. I just don't look vulnerable.
Buck up, look scary.
Quote.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Put that in the overheard. Oh, Celaena's kind of throwing some facts at her, though. When she tells her about making noise after the don't move them, if they do get you in your grasp, don't yell rape or don't yell that someone's thieving you because cowards aren't going to care about that. Yell out, there's a fire.
Which honestly, even just the realism of that is, I've heard that before. I heard that even before I ever read these books. Unfortunately, it's still the situation where people don't want to get involved when it comes to rape. They don't believe victims and they don't punish the assailants. It's all really fucked up. But it's even true that if someone hears a scuffle in the alleyway, they're not going to go investigate. But then for some reason in our brain, if someone's yelling, there's a fire, they're going to be like, oh, let me go see. Cool.
Or let me save myself. There's a Selena's saying that people are very self-interested. So people will try to save themselves more than hearing somebody yell rape.
Right.
I did not know that. But when I read this, I was, oh, that's very interesting because that's real. And then I read, sometimes when they have like those self-help videos, that was one of them. They were saying, yell that there's a fire. And I was like, wow. Is our world just this fucked up that if someone yells rape, no one's going to be like, call 911? It's like only if there's a fire.
Yeah, that sounds about right, unfortunately.
If I heard someone yell rape, I don't care if it was fake or not, I'm calling 911. She also says that try to fight back as much as you can to convince them you're not worth. Because if you make enough noise and you make enough of a scuff, they're kind of going to get just like, you're not easy target to them anymore. And so you could be more trouble than you're worth.
It's like, oh, this could draw attention. Or if we end up getting injured because of your fighting back, that's not going to be worth it.
Because again, if they're like penniless or whatever, it's not like they have money to go get themselves healed.
Right.
Or get, whatever. And also the biggest thing of all, run like hell. Your biggest thing to do is because you're not a fighter. It's like, don't fight. Get it to where you are in a place where you can run.
Okay, so this reference is not at all similar to like running away from rape or assault or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But the first thing that popped into my head is this comic called Asterix and Obelix, and it's a graphic novel sort of comic, and there's one volume in particular called Asterix and the Big Fight, and it's basically chief versus chief and the winner gets the village, and one of the chief is like, he's like all super muscled and buff and like fists and everything, and then the other chief he's overweight. He's a good man, but, he's, not used to fighting or anything like that. He's a people's chief, basically. Okay. And but then when this big fight happens, it's just the chiefs in this ring. And the friendly chief, he's just running in circles around the ring. And the other chieftain is just trying to punch at air. And he's like, stop fucking running.
That's funny.
It's a way of self-preservation, honestly. Like, you can't get hit if you don't get caught.
That's true. Or you could run to a safe place.
That's true. To run to somewhere that you could get help.
Mm-hmm. Or even out into the open.
Mm-hmm. Where someone could see it. Mm-hmm. Even that would be, like, even if you can't get to help directly, hopefully there's at least one person out there, the open area, who will see and do something.
Right. Wow, she teaches her how to fucking take out someone's eyeballs, how to, like, pinch the inside of a man's upper thigh. I mean, I know how to do that. Not in the... Not in the
fighting self-defense way.
Not in the fighting sense. I did that to an ex once. Sorry. Remember? It's not PG. Stomping on the foot, and she's like, always go for the dick. Number one thing, always. They say groin, but she really means dick.
Although I will say, I actually kind of appreciated, these are real defense moves as well. They're not like just some made up name, blah, 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 pew, pew, mm-hmm. Like kind of fighting. It's like poke their eyes, like shove your thumbs into their eyes. That's a real defense move. Or hit against their throat. That's a real defense move. Or clap their ears. That's going to disorient them. It's like they're real moves.
Especially when you don't have weapons.
Yeah.
Like, it's like...
Well, when you just have your body.
Yeah. She also says, if they come after you for money, throw the coins in, like, other direction and run the other way.
Yeah.
It's almost like, it sounds stupid, but it's like when somebody actually... In a sense, I knew that, but now that you're putting it into actual words, it makes sense.
It's like your life is more important than your belongings. As much as, like, you're scared and you don't want to part with your belongings and stuff, you don't want it to turn into like, a mugging gone wrong, which is, frequent, unfortunately.
I mean, rather some 100 something bucks than your life.
Right.
It's a real call.
If you die, you're going to lose the money anyway.
Doesn't matter. Here was the big thing that made me really happy about this was when Yrene said, I'll teach this to Jessa. Here's the thing. We're making fun of the fact that, she's a whore, da-da-da, whatever. She's still a woman who's in a position where, like, it doesn't matter if she's, and I 100% agree with this too. I would be the same person to help out another woman just because she's another woman regardless of maybe necessarily how she treats me.
Right. And,
again,
obviously we don't know Jessa. We haven't, like, met her as a character, really. We've only seen her in her horror behavior. But I think what you were gonna say, like, it is really important for, like, women to stick together, at least in the sense of self-defense.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, I can tell her the things and help her, but also it's on her to take those.
You said at least you would have done your part to help.
And tried.
Yeah.
Yes. But Selena goes one step further. She says, if you get a chance, teach it to any female who will take the time to listen.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
It's so good. So then, of course, Selena's, well, my deed is done. I get to go to the Red Desert. Now, she kind of wants to go. She's actually really excited to go, even though this is the punishment quest.
Yeah.
Because she thinks that she was pushed to go here. Yeah, Selena, the one who doesn't seem to really like the gods or fate, is like, I guess I'm being pulled over here, so I feel like I should go.
In any case, I feel like it was fate that she met Yrene.
Oh, yeah, because she says she couldn't be like Yrene, a living reminder of loss and shoved aside dreams.
Wow.
Because just because she's saying this stuff to Yrene doesn't mean, again, she doesn't know her as a person. She doesn't know if Yrene is actually going to go and do these things.
Mm-hmm.
She could just be sitting here talking to a brick wall.
Right. Or it could have been a sob story just made up.
Mm-hmm. The contentness did not last long. If they thought they were going to get out of this without another fight, they were laughing to themselves.
Remember that guy that ran away?
Yeah, remember the guy from earlier? He's back.
With friends who apparently are stronger and with weapons.
That's kind of wild. So, drawing her sword, she's ready to fucking fight now. She's drawn the sword.
Mm-hmm.
She does tell Yrene to go in the back door. So, Irene's like listening from the other side of the door and then opens it to watch, which I thought was very dumb.
But also kind of like brave because she's like, you know what? I want to see how it's done.
Well, I also, like, I don't want her, she just did all this stuff for me. I don't want her to be out there by herself.
Even though, like, Selena was just teaching her how to fight. She's like, but, like, 5 people, she can't take on 5 men at once. Meanwhile, 2 of them are already dead.
Bro, you did this earlier. I'm fine.
I'm the teacher teaching you these self-defense skills. I think I can handle it.
I mean, Selena's just whooping ass. Like, she's doing so good. But God damn it, Yrene just had to open the door because then she gets caught by another guy with a dagger to her throat.
Who went through the inn, so it's like if she hadn't turned to look through the door, she would have seen him coming.
Yep. Taken off guard, my man. But what a great and totally unpredicted set of circumstances for her to learn these new techniques that she just got taught. This wasn't planned at all.
No.
So, obviously, you know, Selena sees that Yrene has the dagger, so she's kind of letting go a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't put her sword down, but she's like, you know, stopped fighting. The guy does nick Irene's neck a little bit, which, assuming is going to scar in some way.
I mean, to be fair, that's a sharp knife then. If, like, he just puts a little pressure and it breaks the skin, like, that's a pretty sharp knife.
Yeah. For those guys in Inish, the fuck?
Right? It's gonna scar, she says.
So then, of course, Selena's looking at her. Do what I just taught you to do, bitch. Fight back.
Fight for your fucking miserable life.
Right. She's like, she can hear Selena's voice in her head.
It's like, fight for your fucking miserable life, you little gremlin. Or something like that.
It was the fact that, though, it was the rage that hit Yrene when she thought, like, I can't die like this here. Her mother had gone down swinging. Her mother had fought for her and killed that soldier so Yrene could have a chance to flee, to make something of her life, to do some good for the world. Can't let my mom sacrifice. Yeah. I can't let my mom's sacrifice go in vain.
Mm-hmm.
And I love a good, I mean, obviously, you know how much I love a good character backstory in that way.
Yeah.
Because it's more than just her fighting for herself. She's just like, why would I? It's another motivator. Why would I disappoint my mother by, like, getting myself killed by these fucking assholes?
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, she, digs into that guy's foot. She does the, you know, she elbows him in the gut, hits him. Damn, she kicked his ass.
She's a fast learner.
I mean, I don't know if I would have been such a quick study. I don't know if I could have done it so quickly. Well, maybe I could have.
And I just love that, like, she looks back as soon as she, like, manages to, like, elbow him. She looks at Selena and it's like, oh, those 2 she was up against are dead.
Already dead.
Even though Yrene was literally like, oh, I hope she can be okay and that I can move fast enough and hopefully she can get away from these 2. They both have the swords at her. They're dead. Okay,
now everyone's dead, and Selena's like, yeah, you sure you want to be a healer? Because, like, that was pretty good. And Irene's like, I want to smack the shit out of her right now. I said, you could have ended this and you like let him hold a knife to my throat. Are you fucking insane?
Selena's just like, it was controlled.
This is perfect practice, my man.
Everything was under control. You were fine.
It's just, it's they were a joke for me.
Mm-hmm.
They were not easy for you. The last thing she says to her, though, about like going and washing the blood out.
Yeah.
I do appreciate, though, that she's like, hey, Yrene Towers, now you know you can do it. I do also appreciate, though, that she's like, look at it this way. I got money from the dumb fucks and you got to learn how to fight. Win-win.
She walks up with a pouch of gold, presumably, right. Or like coins.
So, of course, yes, Selena vanishes. Yrene does not see this person again by the end of this chapter. Yrene takes Selena's advice about the clothes, goes and washes them. That was an all-nighter. She literally has to wait, she has to quote-unquote be woken up in 30 minutes.
She's like, I have to get to work now.
That's crazy. But girl, this almost made me cry. What's sitting on Irene's bed is 3 things. There is the pouch of money that that Selena stole from the guys. The ruby brooch is in the pouch that Selena had, and there's a note on it. Mm-hmm. That's actually the quote of the episode that Liesl so beautifully done at the beginning.
I love it, honestly. I love it. It's such a sweet note. For wherever you need to go, and then some. The world needs more healers.
You're getting a very different Selena than we did in the first book. This is like kind of the hopeful Selena. That's like, you know what? I instill in like the bottom of my heart, I dream like you do, that things can be better than this, and that there's still people who just genuinely want to help people.
It's like she's taking a bet on Yrene, taking a chance.
Like, I'm giving you something.
Yeah.
But I like how Yrene describes it as a challenge and a dare.
Take this money that I'm giving you and go live on the streets of Antica until you can become a healer at the Torre Cesme.
Right.
That's the challenge. That's the dare. Go fucking do it.
Right. The gods had vanished, her mother had once claimed. But had they? Had it been some god who had visited tonight clothed in the skin of a battered young woman? The fact that Yrene thinks that Selena's a goddess is kind of awesome.
Yeah. I was visited by a god tonight, or goddess tonight. She's quite the violent little goddess.
Right. It's like, it was a gift. It was a gift if she dared to take it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, is that this beautifulness of someone, a random stranger, whoever, giving someone a second chance at life.
I really like just how it says, an hour later, no one stopped Yrene Towers as she walked out of the White Pig and never looked back.
Almost like we're kind of getting a future perspective of she never goes back to this place.
Yeah, good. I don't want to hear about Nolan ever again.
Yeah, but this was just like a part of your life now. Now you have there's no caveats. All the things that she was saying before about her debt, about whatever, there is literally nothing standing in her way of doing it. So is it really the excuses, or are you standing in your own way? And so this was like, I'm going. It's just beautiful. It's also a good message for sure. Yeah. So then we get to like Selena's part as we're going into the desert portion of this novel. She boards the ship to the Gulf of Oro. She's got to do the ship ride and then go through the desert for a week to get to the Silent Assassins, which is, god damn, this is awful conditions.
Long journey.
I love how we get Selena's perspective as it's almost like we get the fact that she didn't actually give Yrene that stuff with the intention of like really doing so the whole time. It was very much like a split decision while she's hearing Yrene clean her clothes off, seeing Irene's cramped living conditions, and she's like unable to stop her actions. She found herself unable to turn away, unable to stop thinking about the would-be healer. There were so many of them now, the children who had lost everything to Otterlin. So again, it seems like Selena is very much, they're hinting that her story is very similar in losing her family, whoever, to Otterlin.
Yeah.
Which I want to learn more about, of course.
Right, because we don't know how she got to Erebin.
Right. Whilst, she says magic has been gone and the gods are dead. Or they don't care. Very bold statement here.
Rather than just the gods abandoned us, the gods are dead.
They're dead. Or like they have to be dead, or they really just don't care about us down here.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I do wanna say, as someone who, again, I'm not saying that they have like a mating bond thing, but I'm just telling you guys what, because of ACOTAR, every time I hear like an invisible tug or a bond or some sort of connection, it always, makes me think otherworldly, ethereal, which makes me think it is kind of fate that she felt like she was tugged to Yrene in some way.
Yeah, that's fate.
And hoped that an assassin's jewel would pay for a healer's education. I do like this quote, though, that she says, so maybe it was the gods at work, maybe it was some force beyond them, beyond mortal comprehension, or maybe it was just for what and who Selena would never be.
She could have ended up that way if she went a different path.
Ding,
but
ding,
she
ding.
didn't, so she never will get to be that person.
Or the fact that she thinks she's, like, damned.
Yeah.
There's like she's like, well, I can't do good like that.
I mean, yes. And then also, I'm damned. I can't do good like that. So, Yrene, go live the life that I never can.
Yeah, go and do it, please, for all of us.
And maybe one day we'll meet up again and I can see what my life would have been like.
That's sweet, though, because she says she prayed Yrene Towers would seize her life, and for years from now, she would return to the continent and heal their broken world.
Aww.
I love you guys, and I think obviously you know this, Liesl, but I think our audience knows enough that it's like, I really am a big believer in a night could change a lot of things.
Yeah.
I know some people don't believe that, but I wholeheartedly believe that.
If anything, like, it's not a night can change immediately. It's more so a single night can plant the idea that will change your life.
Yeah, like, because I've had plenty of inspirational conversations with people in a night that made me kind of, I don't know, maybe it was a point that I wasn't. It's like when your parents tell you a bunch of things, right? And then, all of a sudden this one friend comes along and they say the same thing your parents have been saying to you for years. And you're like, oh my God, it clicked.
It finally clicked.
And it's like, that's kind of how I feel with this in terms of, she's always thought this, but it wasn't until someone kind of kicked her in the pants about this that she really could decide her fate and do what she wanted to do. So even though it's a really small chapter, I like the chapter. It's probably one of my favorite books in the entire novella. So I really had a great time with this. I think it's such a good novel. Okay, do I say it's a novella? It's a story. I don't know.
I feel like The Assassin's Blade is technically a book, but it's like a collection of short stories.
It's the it's the Assassin's Blade novellas. So the Assassin's Blade is the novel.
I would almost call it like the Assassin's Blade collection.
Whatever. I feel like I'm going to fuck that up as we go through, but whatever.
You'll hear many different ways of us to call it.
Yes, of course. But of course, thank you guys for watching. This is our, of course, this was our second novella of this book. So we have 3 more to go. Before we go into our end credits, I have a few things to say about our sponsor for today. So back to Tona Activewear. So Tona has a commitment to quality and innovation, meaning their leggings perform as well as they look. They're 100% fit and happiness guarantee, ensuring you love your leggings. And they're designed for women who train really hard, combining a functionality along with a fashion. So very, very exciting. So again,
we love stylist function.
The Virgo placement in me is like the practicality while also having like the fun Gemini fashion side. Who knows? I'm just trying to, I'm getting more versed in it. But yes, if you want to go, we'll have it down in the description. It is 16% off any product of theirs with our promo code, which is TFBW Podcast. That's Twin Flames Between World Podcast, shortened. So thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, please follow the TikTok, the Instagram, the Facebook, be in our Discord community. I have the Discord in every episode we upload because, they have like a 7-day thing on that. So I put a new Discord link in there. So please join our wonderful community. And I know you probably have stuff to say to the audience, so I'll let you.
You always cover most of it. I just wanted to add, YouTube videos of all of our archive videos are starting to come out once a week on Mondays, so you can go check that out and see our faces and all of our reactions and antics that we do with our hands and whatnot. So head on over there if you want to see that.
Because as Liesl would say, I am very expressive in my reactions.
Very much so. And sometimes it's we can't even say stuff. We just make expressions with our faces.
We also just know each other well enough that if I see the look on your face and I'm like, oh God, she's thinking some dirty shit. I know. And she knows my laugh when I'm thinking of something dirty.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm sure you've heard it, just random pauses as well. Not as many pauses because Tabi edits them out, but lots of pauses of where it's pause and then, oh, I know that look. Or pause, what?
No. Yeah.
So you'll be able to see what our expressions are and learn what they are too.
So yes, like please go and see that. So the next episode will be The Assassin and the Desert, the Red Desert. So that's going to be very exciting. So yeah, this was probably the shortest episode of these 5 episodes. So then the other ones will be longer, but still short in that sense. So we'll see you guys all in the next episode. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.